When I was a teenager back in high school, I guess like in the early 2000s, after my mom got us a computer and internet for the first time when I was 15, I decided to join ICQ since I was like what was popular back then, and everyone I knew with computers had it and would be chatting with people. As much as I was weirded out and kind of freaked out of and scared off of like most chat rooms after my mom made me watch Strange Land to try and scare me off of body piercings instead of just scare me off of internet chat rooms, I just it's kind of a little bit more bolder, I guess. So, but like I wouldn't tell anybody like anything about me that was true. And like I'd usually talk to people from like other countries or like other towns. I tried and avoid people from my town. But once I accidentally ended up talking to a guy who like lived in my town, and like we had no idea, and like I had totally told him like this weird persona I made up of myself. Guys would tell people that I had a long tail, like a rat that wagged when I was happy, and my sister got mad and broke it one time by slamming it in a door. And when I went to the hospital, the doctor didn't know what to do, so he sent me to the vet. There's this one boy from India I used to talk to like every day, and I told him my sister was like 6.5 feet tall and was like trying to like, and how like, she like would like slam my tail in the door and like drop kick me and stuff, and he didn't know what to drop kick was, so I had to, so I explained it to him. And the next day he came online and said that he taught all his school, all the guys he went to school with, what a drop kick was, and he ended up breaking his spectacles. I was like, oh my god, that's not good. I'm like, I'm sorry, I did not mean for you to break your glasses. But yeah, one guy, I just like, that'd be funny to maybe talk to like one person like in my same province and tell him how like I had a tail and stuff, and like how everyone in my town, and like, and then he's like really, it's in Manitoba. I'm like, yeah, everyone in my town is used to it. Like I just kind of cut holes in the back of my pants and let my tail hang out. In the winter I make special scarves and stuff for it. Like everyone knows I have a tail by now, and it's just everyone's just used to it. And because he only had his settings set to Manitoba, but he's also in a part of I think a Winnipeg group, something like that. So let's assume that he was like from one of the cities or down south, and with no flip flop. So we're talking for a bit, and like for a couple of weeks, and going on with telling like my weird adventures, my having like going around town with my tail and stuff. And it turns out we lived in the same town, and like we were living in the middle of that. Like he actually lived on the same block that I used to live on, like just on the other end, like until like just a few years before that. But it still wasn't that far from like where I lived. And then he's like, what? He's like, I haven't seen any girls with tails around the town. I'm like, oops. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, weird. I'm like, well, how long have you lived here? He's like, oh, only like, he's like, only a few months. I'm like, well, that's why. I ended up setting him up with my friend Crystal, and ended up dating. And then when we met, first thing he asked, he's like, hey, he's like, I gotta ask. He's like, can I see the tail? My friend was like, what? I'm like, you guys don't really have one. So yeah. Yeah, just most of the time, I always would talk to people on ICQ, telling them how like I had a tail. My sister was 6.5 feet tall. She would like kick me and break my tail on the doors and stuff, and the doctor kept sending me to the vet to get it fixed. I thought it was funny. And yeah. I also like make sure to use the word rump a lot if I was like talking about like my butt, especially like when my tail. Like, yeah, my tail is like attached to my rump and stuff. Like, I was a weird kid. It's still funny.